Hello and welcome inside the Chris Evans Podcast. It is a hot Wednesday, July 19, 2023, joined by the Guthrie head coach of the cross-country track program, Coach Bryce Balenseifen.
Yes, Balenseifen.
I imagine that's been butchered quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot of track meets growing up where they'd say it, and there's no point in trying to correct people. You just kind of roll with it.
The kids go Coach B?
Coach B, yeah Coach B.
Lucky guess. Yeah. So, well, it is summertime, and it is a busy time. You don't think a lot of people we're still about a month away from school, but people aren't thinking school yet. But it is cross country season, softball season, football is getting ready to get close, but it is a busy time for the cross country program.
Yes, absolutely. I think softball has several games before school starts.
Yeah,
and we actually have a meet as well in about 3 weeks. So in my head, it's cross country season.
Yeah.
I mean, summer's pretty well done. We've had several camps this summer, and official practice started this Monday, and so I'm in season mode right now.
And we got a lot to talk about here. We got a cool run that you're a big part of it. The Clay Tarter Memorial Invitational. The run is coming back to Guthrie. That's exciting behind that. But obviously, Clay passed about 13 months now, June 5th of last year, and very, very tough time. I mean, you knew Clay during your competing days, and just an icon here in Guthrie. All the state championships, the state runners-up. He would have a ton more state championships if it wasn't for that program down in Bishop McGinnis. But the impact that he had on so many lives as a coach, I'm sure you understand that. He's just over 40 years. He started the program here in Guthrie, and just a tough situation a year ago. But that enters you. There's always things that happen. But just talk about we'll talk about Clay here in a second. But your first year last year, I thought was a great season for you guys.
Yeah, I didn't get here last summer until about this time.
Yeah.
It was the July board meetings when it became official, and so it almost felt like speed dating, but for coaching.
Yeah.
I had to come in there and try and build some trust with the kids, but I also realized, hey, we're a month away from the season, so we got to go. But I also had to consider the fact that they were grieving with a guy that a lot of them saw as like a grandpa figure. A lot of people from the 80s and 90s probably saw him as like an older brother, and then more like a father figure, and then recently as a grandpa. And so it was a little tricky, because you want to kind of change certain things, right? Like there's things that he did one way and I do them a different way.
That's going to happen.
And the other coaches do things a certain way.
Yep.
And it's not that certain things he did was wrong or certain things I'm doing right is right. It's just different systems. And I feel like we did good. My goal was just keep the ship going.
Yeah.
Right. Like let's get to work, and everything else will kind of fall in place after that. And I don't think it took long, especially for the guys, because I'm like an older brother figure to them. Yeah. And no, we did well last year. Girls got third at state, and boys should have been probably fourth place, but we got second at regionals. But I had a lot of flu. Had 3 kids with the flu, and one kid was so hurt in the middle of the race that I had to pull him, literally pull him off of the course. So we got 9th, but they will do much better than that this year.
Yeah, it was it seemed like it was just one thing after another toward the end of the season with the flu and injuries and all that stuff. But so it is. Guthrie's had the story program. You were a decorated athlete on a high school and college level, but Guthrie's had the tradition, and they've had the Guthrie Invitational cross country race here in the flats over years. Kind of went away for different reasons, but I remember working those. Clay was my Sunday school teacher, and obviously he was my teacher in high school, so had a great relationship with him. And it was always fun to have those tournaments. I was there to cover it, but I also helped with people through the lines and all that fun stuff. But it's good to see it coming back, and this time it has a name to it, the Clay Tarter Memorial Invitational.
Yeah, we're excited. So it's not about me, but my first high school race ever was actually at Cottonwood Flats here.
Okay. You always the first one to start the season.
Yeah. It was always early.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at dates through the calendar, and last year, the weekend after Labor Day wasn't very busy. Mm-hmm. So I hopped on it. I think I reserved Friday, September 8th. Hope that's right.
That's right.
I reserved that back in April with the timing company.
Wow.
And so, because I've hosted a couple meets before when I was at Putnam City North, and learned through trial and error of what to do and what to not do. And I said, we're going to make this thing good. We had talked about it when I first got here, having a meet last fall, but didn't have the time, didn't have the resources. You know, I didn't really know the parents, right? Just like I was trying to get trust with the athletes, you got to work on the parents too. Yeah. And so we just said, we're going to do it next year. And so, unfortunately, that weekend has gotten crazy packed, but we're still close to full. I think last night I got a text from a coach that we now have 14 high schools locked in and 8 junior high schools. And the junior highs, they don't schedule until a little bit closer to the year. Right. You know, it's not, they don't eat, sleep, breathe cross country.
You get some individual runners as well.
Yeah. We'll get some individuals. One school said, hey, can I bring 3 runners? So, yeah. Sounds good. I like the flats. So I'm from Deer Creek. Every once in a while we'd play golf here in town, and I'd drive around and say, hey guys, I ran here and stuff. And, I didn't actually know Clay. I knew what he looked like. I knew who he was. I knew he was like the coach who'd been there forever. But my high school coach knew him really well, because he's been there since 2004 or 5. And when I was in high school, Guthrie was our rival, because my 8th grade year, I had watched the last boys team that won state in 2010. I was there, so I saw it all. And then when I got to high school, I think Guthrie had lost a couple seniors, and then we didn't have any seniors, and then he threw me in there, and it was just too much. But I was real familiar with Guthrie, real familiar with the program, and so happy to have it down at the Flats, and hopefully we make it a meet that people want to come to every year.
As a runner, it's easy because it's flat?
We only ran there once. It was only my freshman year. You think it's fast because it's flat.
Right.
We'll have a couple zigzags, but no real sharp turns where you got to come to a complete stop and then flip directions.
Well, I got to say, 14 high school teams, 8 junior high teams, that's a great start, because when it was really going in the flats, I mean, Jinx would come down. I mean, there was some.
Edmonds
would come down. So obviously Deer Creek, McGinnis, some of the top cross-country programs, but for year one, I mean, it's a busy time of the year too, so I can think it will only get bigger and stronger. To get 14 teams the first year, I know in baseball it's hard to get 6 teams in one year, so same thing with basketball too, so very cool. So and I want to show the shirts are out there, and boy, did you get some great sponsors for this as well, but those are the shirts this year. 7 state championships, 17 runner-ups. Could have been a whole lot more state championships there. Regional championships, 16, 24 conference championships, 76 all-state runners, and the tradition continues.
Yeah, so that shirt right there it's the alumni version of our shirt. So the front is going to be the same. Say Clay Tarter Memorial with the Guthrie G, established 2023, and online on Body Billboards, they're one of our sponsors. They have a shop, and any cross country track alumni can get on there and type in. I want to say it's GHSXCALUM, which would be Guthrie High School XC alum, basically.
Yeah, so I think you got Body Billboards, who's working on some cool Segment Banana Media stuff as well, coming soon to you. But yeah, cool. There's the shirts there. And, man, some great sponsors coming together to help out the program as well.
Yeah, for the sponsors, we had a fundraising effort this spring. We did a grill raffle, and He was pretty successful, but it's also a pain in the rear trying to get on to kids and trying to sell tickets and everything. And so I was talking with some of the other coaches, and we thought, how can we get money without forcing the kids to go sell things at people's house, because we just want them to focus on training, right? Cross country kind of sucks. Going out and running hard every day, that's tough.
If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
If it was easy, our numbers would be a lot higher. But we just said, look, we got to try to find a way to get some money. And so every sponsor that we've got has some sort of connection to cross country, whether their kid currently runs or currently runs track, or looking at your list right there, a bunch of people who previously ran, and so of course you get some of the chapels involved. It's nice people to know. So
Guthrie has a tremendous program, but now I don't know how hard it's been hit in years past as far as sponsorships, but that's a great group of sponsors, and that's part of building a program. Yes, winning helps, but community involvement is a huge thing, especially with the success of the cross country program.
Yeah, and so it's been nice to have all that, because there's a lot that goes into putting a meet on, between the timing companies, over $1,000. The medals, because we ordered some extras this year, well over $1,000.
Getting buses parked in the right spot.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Yeah. And we also got a brand new tent that is nice. It's not falling apart. It looks like we belong in 5A and 6A, track and cross country. So we're also going to get all those sponsors on a banner that will hang around that tent. So
that's awesome. That's really cool. That's you can always, programs are like Guthrie cross country are always great, but they can always get better and better. I think bringing in the sponsors in the community is a huge step to that. Well, there's hopefully everyone's watching this on Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Friday, but second annual Guthrie Mile Nile. What are we doing here?
So when I got here, I realized that the finish line seemed so far away, or really the start line seemed so far away when I got here, because we were, like I said, about 4 or 5 weeks away from the first meet, and I thought these kids need something that's right in front of them, right? They need to know, they need to panic and think, oh crap, I got something to do.
There's the end of the line, yes.
Yeah, and so I worked with Coach DeMint, our fantastic junior high cross country coach, and in about a week or so, we had an event at the track where we had the junior high kids go first. It was either girls or boys or girls. We actually had a community 800 first. Okay. We saw a couple kids and parents and stuff out there running, and then the whole time while we're doing all these races, we got dads firing up the grills, and it was cool. I brought in some guest speakers. Let's see, it was 3 guys who had been on the state champion teams from back in 2009 and 2010. Yep. And so
the brothers, right?
It was the 2 brothers, and I can't remember the third guy, but he was also on the team. Yeah. It was one of the twins, the Ogan twins. Yeah. And then the younger one and he's the one I ran against, and I almost beat him here at the Flats. That was the closest I ever came to beating him. It was early season. I don't think he was really fit, but he actually, Jonathan, had a great senior year, and I think he was second at state behind Taylor, who's from Deer Creek. Yep. So good guys. I was really happy they were able to come out there. And so we'll have the community 800 be first. I posted it all online. There's an event online somewhere.
Yeah, and this is at the high school track?
Be at the high school
track. The Clay Tarter Complex?
The Clay Tarter Complex.
Right here.
Yeah, the CTC.
Okay, the CTC.
Yeah, that's what I always call it.
There you go, all right.
CTC. And then we'll have the junior high. Actually, we're going to have high school go first, make the big kids run when it's hot and miserable. And then we'll have the kids go, and I'm actually going to be racing against the boys, so I've been talking a little bit of smack.
You still in shape?
Decent shape.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to just take care of my body generally.
Yeah.
I'm weight training for the first time in my life, because it's always been be small.
And runners aren't real big on weightlifting, right?
Not traditionally.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have them do a lot of basic, just general strength stuff.
Okay.
I'm I'm not trying to bulk anybody up, but
Yeah.
we hit the weight room twice a week. And some days it's just a bunch of core activities, like
Okay.
core exercises. But yeah, I've been running a little bit. I just try to stay in shape enough to where I can pace them through workouts.
Always
That's about it.
Always hard. You're always looking for athletes to come out, but
Yeah.
like especially this time of year, but it's so daggum hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
I mean, it's hard to recruit
and
at
running
right
already
now.
sucks.
Yes.
You know, and then the kids got vacations and all that. So, I'll take anybody really.
Yeah.
Last year, we got Claire Bell Kirk was a wrestler.
That's right.
Right. I met her 16 days before the state meet. She comes.
That's
she
right.
comes out there, and I want to say she was number 3 at regionals because we had one girl sick, didn't run, and one girl was sick and just ran poorly. I mean, in the past, that put in work, some of my best friends were soccer kids.
Yeah.
Who would do soccer, 3 days a week and just come out and run a little bit during cross, and they were great. I mean, I believe that a lot of athletes are capable of running cross country. It's just getting them to not see it as punishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because like when we're kids, all we want to do is run.
Yeah.
Right? We play tag, we play sharks and minnows, like whatever. Running, we're always running.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I feel like it's middle school is where running starts to become not as fun.
Well, even in growing up and playing sports, being a punishment for not doing something right was running.
Yeah,
You're punished.
Run to the pole and back.
That's a
baseball,
punishment.
right? That's
Yes.
what it was.
Poles.
Or
Down and
they
back.
call them suicides in
Yes.
basketball. You run up 10 times. Yeah, I know. I'm like, hey, can we change that to like wall sits and push-ups or
Yes.
something?
Up downs.
Like push-ups are productive too.
Yes, yes.
Getting strong quads that helps too. You don't have to just run and
Yeah.
you talked about getting attendance in the summer. I mean, it is hard. Sometimes it's great. This week's been great. It's the first week of practice.
Yep.
There were some camps this summer where we would have 3 boys.
Yeah.
And it gets a little hard to stay motivated, but I got a lot of them shooting me messages on their mind, say, hey, I got to run, or there's an app called Strava where they upload the run and I can see it.
Gotcha.
And so
if they do go on vacation, they can work it in. Yeah. I'm running, coach. I'm running.
Yeah, until they go on a cruise and
That's true.
drink soda all day,
Yeah,
eat a bunch of pizza. It gets a little harder, but it is what it is.
Real quick before I forget, second annual Guthrie Mile Night, Friday, July 21st. What time?
I think I have 6:45 written down as
Okay.
like a meet and greet. We'll kind of just be setting things up. I'll be there. Coach Sept will be there, and I think the other high school coaches will be there with us as well. And it'll be done about 8:00.
Awesome.
So we'll just rip through the races.
Very cool. Very cool. So practice starts this week. Your thoughts on the boys and girls entering the season and trying to make another. The cool thing is boys and girls making the state. I lost track how many years in a row, but
It's been a lot.
It's been a lot.
It's been a lot. I mean, for the last handful of years,
Yeah,
I think both have made it. Well, initially the girls team is kind of on paper. That's what stands out. We were 3rd last year. And do you know how the scoring and all that stuff works for cross?
Yeah,
I guarantee
because when
people listening to this will not.
when
know.
Deer Creek, Piedmont 5A finished 1, 2, 4, 5, and 11.
Mm-hmm.
You count those points as the state meet as your scoring.
Yeah.
And so,
like the place
kind of like Deer
yeah.
Creek back in your day.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is how you guys would normally finish. And so
There'd be a lot.
those points, yeah.
So varsity is 7 runners. Right, you get 7 kids, and you take your top 5,
Right.
and whatever place they get is how many points they get. So if you win the race, it's only 1 point. 5th place is 5, 10th place, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, off of last year's team, I don't remember off the top of my head. It was like 7, 17, 19, 21, 25. So we had a lot of those, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
We don't. I think the one person not returning is our 7 person on the girl side.
Okay.
So bringing back 1 through 6, and we've got a solid group of freshman girls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave it at that. They're hardworking. They have good attitudes. And Piedmont is going to 6A.
Should
you can knock on wood? I've got some.
Okay, good. It should. Those numbers should be coming out soon. They should be in 6A.
They'll be coming out soon.
Okay.
I got family members who now work.
They should
now
be.
work there. Pretty high.
I'm just waiting for something excuse or something.
Oh, I know.
Something to happen.
The initial numbers, they're 20 above the line, and then they're 30 below.
Correct.
The line
Something. Yeah.
No, but I tease Piedmont, but I like them a lot. I like their coach.
Yeah.
He's been real helpful. He's a nice guy. But they're. In my head,
and they're really, really, really good.
They're good.
They can compete in 6A today, so they'll be fine.
They will. Yeah, they'll compete.
Yeah.
A lot tougher, but they will still be
correct.
up there. So with them being gone, our girls got third. That it's really Bishop Kelly and our girls. And I've been riding them about that for months.
Yeah.
All track season. Coach, why are you making me do 3 events? We got to get this work for next fall.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing 8 miles today? Last fall we only did 6. I said we got to get ready for this fall.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, they had no seniors as well.
Yep.
And they're bringing back the number 1 girl in the state and the girl who got, I want to say, 5th in the state. So they have a solid 1 and 2, and their 3 and 4 were together. So it's like they had the 1, 2. There was a gap. 3, 4, big gap, and then they had their 5.
Yep.
But I think they will be better. They always get better. They're really well coached.
Mm-hmm.
Good culture over there, and so I think it's possible for our girls to win. I really do.
Awesome.
They just got to show up every day.
Yeah.
And put a little bit of work in every day, and be positive every day, and it'll be cool. October 28th will be cool.
Yeah, Edmond, Santa Fe over there. Love that area, by the way. Short drive from Guthrie. Selfish reasons.
If you're strong enough, you can throw a rock over there.
Yeah, exactly right.
Santa Fe.
You were an elite runner, but your 1s and 2s, but just because you might not be your first, second, or third best runner, you still have a big, if you're the 5th runner, 6th runner, you still have a huge responsibility because you're not necessarily going to win the race, but you're competing against that other 4 or 5. And those, it always comes down to the regional state, a surprise because that 4 or 5 did something special.
Yeah, they always say you're as good as your 5th runner.
Yeah.
Right. Or in other sports, they'll say you're your weakest link. And my high school coach would always say it takes 5 to make a good team, but it takes a good 7 to have a good 5.
The push.
Right, because if you're the comfortable 5, you got to think you're not going to get kicked off varsity.
Yeah.
Right, and so you just hope that they're pushing forward because they got these other people. And if the 5 has a bad day, you need a good 6 or 7 to step up.
Yeah.
And so if there's a tie after your 5 and their 5, it goes to the 6th runner.
Okay.
Yes. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why they have 7, and then.
Makes sense.
If someone goes down, you still have a little bit of insurance.
I knew that part of it, but I didn't know if tie goes to 6.
Tie goes to the 6th runner.
Very cool.
College is a little different. But on the boys' side, 2nd at regionals last year, had 4th place pretty secured. Like I said, we had 3 kids with the flu, and I had to pull 1 kid. We finished with 5. Actually, another kid had to drop out. So we barely finished. They will do much better than 9th this year.
Yeah.
We've got the talent in this school every single year. I keep saying it, to be top 3, even on years where we are not loaded.
Right.
And so again, with Piedmont gone, it sort of becomes Bishop Kelly, on paper is probably number 1, and then Guyman, and then it's like.
Yeah.
Pretty wide open.
Yeah. A lot of people associate Guyman with football. They've gone independent. Basketball team is down. Softball, baseball aren't there.
They've run.
Cross country's good. Really, really good.
Yeah, the boys.
Boys, yeah.
They won as soon as I graduated. Deer Creek went 6A, and so kind of like Piedmont's doing now, it kind of created a little vacuum to where it's like anyone who has a decent culture and has a little bit of talent can really take over.
Yeah.
And so I don't know this for sure, but they won at least 3 out of the last 6 or 7. I mean, they've been great. They got a good coach out there. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I've heard good things about him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because they always have slower times throughout the season, but I don't know where they're running. They're running it somewhere in Kansas or Texas. I don't know how hot and windy it is, but they always run really well. But on the boys' side, we got an odd blend of like seniors, like a big group of seniors and a big group of sophomores.
Okay.
Like 1 or 2 juniors and 1 or 2 freshmen.
Yeah.
And we had some guys who had some really big jumps this track season, and I have no reason to believe that they won't carry that into the fall.
Yeah.
I mean, I think on the guys' side, potentially we could put 4 in the top 10 to 12, and when you do that,
you're in the hunt.
You got a serious chance, and so I think we could put 4 guys under 17 minutes in the 5K.
Okay.
I'm not saying we will. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
And then if we can just get a 5 guy somewhere mid-17s, I don't know how that loses.
Yeah.
It could. It's always possible, but I think the boys people would be surprised. People who keep up with it and see that they were 9th last year.
Yeah.
Will be like, how in the world did they do that with half of the team, graduating?
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff happened last year too for that 9th place still, but
yes,
it's very, very. It was like really, the momentum was there, and then
and it was tough. But I pulled all the guys aside and I said, "Hey, that is not.
No one's going to feel sorry for you.
That is not our season. That just is bad luck. We move on. I promised. I said we will be much better than that next year."
Well, we got a lot of cool stuff. Friday, July 21st, 6:45 at the CTC. Behind the high school there is the second annual Guthrie Mile Night. It's going to be a little bit cooler on that night, so that works there. Also, the Clay Tarter Memorial Invitational, Friday, September 8th. 14 schools right now, high school, 5 junior high. That's set to start for 9 o'clock. Isn't there a community run as well with that?
Yes, we have
hopefully
a community 5K.
Okay.
I believe that's 8 o'clock.
Okay, at 8
and
o'clock.
That's just $5. Just bring $5, sign up on a little piece of paper, and unless we have over 100 and something people out there, we should have a medal for every person. And
I know you would, if anybody wanted to help volunteer. There's always plenty of jobs out there. Even I can do some of the jobs out there. So if I can do it, I know a lot of people. I know the more volunteers, the better to help the coaches out and the athletic staff out, all that stuff. So
yeah, can't have too much help out there at those events.
You can follow Cross Country on Facebook.
We should have a track and field Facebook on there.
I looked on that. There is one. I don't know if it's
one of the other coaches runs it.
Okay.
I know we've got Instagram.
Instagram, there you go.
I know we're on Instagram.
Okay.
Guthrie High School Track and Cross Country.
Well, we'll keep you updated, hopefully a few times throughout the year here on this podcast. Also, of course, on Guthrie News page, we'll have it all covered throughout the entire year. Great visiting with you. Hopefully we can do that a few more times and talk about some big wins and some individual races and all that good stuff. So, Coach B. It makes it easier. Double B, Bryce B.
Flows a little bit better.
It's Balenseifen.
Balenseifen. Yeah. I always say, think of the balance like being even, Balenseifen.
There you go. I wish you would have told me that about 30 minutes ago. So, best of luck this year. Glad to have you Guthrie. You're doing great things. Great things. Appreciate you keeping the program going the way it has. And it's not easy, but you do a good job at it.
Well, it's easy enough when you love it.
Yeah.
This is like my video game.
Yeah.
Working with the kids. So
awesome.
Happy to be here.
We'll talk to you next time.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining in. We'll talk to you next time here on the Chris Evans Podcast.